What is up, everybody? Happy Wednesday. I hope everybody's doing well today. Welcome to the Verified AMA. My name is Lawton Ho. We're here with Verified Investing, and I go live every single day. The markets are open from 12:30 to 1:15 to answer your questions. How's everybody doing today? Have some nice excitement in the markets. I mean, we got to talk about it. Oracle is up over 40% off of earnings. Their earnings wasn't even that good, but apparently they have like $350 billion in contracts. Like, I don't know, dude. This is kind of insane. Yeah, Oracle got all the way as high as about 345, 346. But this is absolutely insane for me on Oracle. Let's take a look. Just look at the daily chart, right? It's double miss on earnings and revenue, but the news was just so bullish that this stock decided, hey, you know what this needs to do? You know what we need to do? We got to go up 43%. That's a totally normal move. No, not normal whatsoever. But if you're enjoying this content, guys, if you like the show, please consider liking and subscribing. It really, really helps us with the algorithms, helps us understand that you like the type of content we're putting out, okay? With that being said, you can ask your question by scanning the QR code below or visiting verifiedinvesting.com. Check it out. But yeah, this Oracle is not very friendly. Not very friendly. Just going straight up. Nathan says, good morning on stocks. Yes. Are you still bullish with the $9 target? I am. Yes, indeed. Still bullish. Yes. The $9 target. Yes, I am. Absolutely. Aaron says, hey, Lawton, I'm eyeing the gap fill on the daily time frame of QS. Cornerscape at 792. Okay. The gap fill is 792. The gap fill is here at 784. 784, actually. But my question is, what percentage into a new position would you go on a gap fill? I'm playing for a day trade. For a day trade, it depends on the stock. On something like QS, I would probably enter a 1/12 position size. So like 8% of my day trading portfolio, I'd enter for my first position. 8% of my day trading portfolio, I'd probably enter, which is a little smaller than I would normally go on something, but yeah. Juan says, hey there, Lawton. I'm thinking of going along Chipotle Mexican Grill. Okay. I dig it. How do you see the chart playing out? I think it looks good for a bounce. What's the lowest price you ever bought socks at? I'm currently in a trade on socks at $6.48 right now, a day trade. So I don't know if that helps answer. I think there's something in my ear. So I apologize if I'm messing with my ear. There's like something in my ear. All right, I think we're good. But yeah, Chipotle Mexican Grill looks good. The lowest price I've ever bought socks at is $6.48. Clinton says on CSX, yes, the train company, shipping train railroad company. Is this a bear flag? You could say down move, sideways consolidation, but the reason why I'm not as bearish on this in general, let's turn this into a teachable moment. Hold on. So on stocks like CSX or anything that's has a bear flag, when you see a bear flag, you generally want to see down move, which we see in some, down move and sideways upwards consolidation like this. This is the move you want to see on a company that's a bear flag. Additionally, some sideways consolidation could also be bear flagging, but because this is down sloping, and I'll just use a parallel channel even though there isn't a great one, just to kind of demonstrate. Because it's kind of like something like this, right? You could see that it's down sloping, and that's actually bullish for the stock. It's actually bullish instead of being bearish. But if it continues to consolidate sideways, you could say that, oh, it's just kind of sideways, and this is the break of it, then sure, then it could be breaking down from a bear flag. But if it continues in this downward momentum, it actually favors a bullish move for the stock. Chris says, can you please talk about Baba? Thanks. Absolutely. Alibaba. I mean, we've been generally pretty bullish on the Chinese stocks here at Verified Investing. But yeah, Alibaba popped up initially yesterday, falling a bit, had earnings, at the end of last month. Question is, where do I see Baba going? Well, the resistance, the major line of resistance, line in the sand for Baba was here, this 148. And you see this line here, this 143.22. That was a gap fill that I expected a pullback from. But we never got the opportunity to trade that because Baba gapped above it yesterday and then proceeds to fall. So you may look for a bounce there. I'm just going to write a couple levels on my charts. So the levels on my charts are where I anticipate a potential bounce on Alibaba. You can take a picture, take a screenshot, pause your video. Wherever you're watching, however you're watching, you can kind of take a look like that. But yeah, those are my levels on Baba that I anticipate potential bounce on the stock, the Chinese stock. Yeah. Andre saying, thoughts on Bitcoin price action today? Personal opinion on the trend it's taking. Yeah, the overall stock market is actually bullish, is going up. Bitcoin did break up from this down-sloping trend line, so this move up is kind of expected. Like if we take a look at the S&P, I'll go back to Bitcoin in a second. It's up, QQQ up as well, both green. So you're kind of expecting Bitcoin to be green as well. Right, did break this down-sloping trend line, pushing higher. I expect resistance up here around 116 or 116. Chad says, hi, mate. Are you feeling a bit better today? Did you get some green tea? I'm good. Yeah, what I needed more than anything was some rest, some sleep. Definitely was lacking on that, but I should be good to go. Nice to see you again, Chad, though. Hopefully you're doing well. Do you think UNH has a decent chance of filling the gap on 370s before the dividend date? UNH popped yesterday, pulling back a bit. The dividend is going to pay out on Monday. Do I think it's going to go to 370 by Monday? I don't. UNH isn't historically the biggest mover. You need an additional 10% move. I don't think so. I would say I would say no if I had to guess. If I had to guess, again, that's just probability-wise what I believe. Doesn't mean I'm always right, but that's what I think the market's kind of favoring for me to say no. I actually took profits on it yesterday. David says, hey, Lon, quick question from Los Angeles. Awesome. Quick answer from Florida, from Tampa, Florida. Does the hood chart tell us anything? The hood is up again today at new all-time highs. If today's daily candle closes, excuse me, looking the same as it does now with that signal, a topping tail or a top. Well, let's go through something really cool that you can do is here at Verified Investing, we came up with a super cool way to kind of explain topping tails and bottoming tails. So just go ahead and go to your browser and Google, just type in topping tail verified investing. And the first thing that comes out should be good. Gives you the exact requirements for it to be a topping tail and a bottoming tail. So let's go through the list. First thing is it must occur at a recent high of the chart. The general rule is the highest point in the last 90 candles. It's currently at an all-time high, so yes. Check that. Must be in the 10%, top 10% of volume. It should be fine. Volume should be okay. I'm not too worried about the candle size from the wick top to bottom must be in the top 70% of all candles. Sure. Let's say it qualifies. The wick must be at least 50% of the entire length of the candle. So yes, it is over half, 50%. The body must be less than 50% of the entire candle. It's getting close, but yeah, it is less than 50%. And the close of the candle must be in the lowest 25% of the entire candle. So by those rules, yes, 100% absolutely, this would be a topping tail in Robinhood. If it closed right here. But remember, you can find out all the qualifications I just read out by typing topping tail verified investing into Google, and it should pop up. One says, good afternoon, Lon. What's up? How's GME looking? I actually wrote an article about GME, I'm pretty sure, yesterday. GME is looking all right. Let me see. What did I use to draw it? I did write an article about GME. I'm trying to see where my article is. I give my exact level, so let me take a look at that technical analysis and insights. Let's take a look at GME. GameStop, yep. So I gave my levels. The first level of resistance I had on GameStop, and I'm just copying was something like this, right? Like a trend line like this. This is where you're likely to find resistance, or I actually lowered it to here, but somewhere in this range. And you see that's where it kind of kissed and then pulled back. Next level of resistance I had on GME was this previous gap fill here, then another one up here. These are the levels of resistance I have on GME. You can take a picture of this, screenshot it, or check out that article I wrote in our technical analysis and insights. But to be brief, GME had good earnings, and their revenue also went up. So that's why GME is going up. Chad says, please, could you give your opinion on Lululemon's 8th Monday candle? All right. So I had that downward, potentially sideways consolidation, a lower move. Does that count as a bottoming tail? And if so, do you think it favors a potential bounce, or is it going to be negated? So this is in the bottom, this closed in the top 50%. Wick is longer than, let me see, let me go back to those qualifications. Let's run through the topping tail, bottoming tail qualifications again. So bottoming tail must be at least 50%, and the close of the candle has to be in the top 25%. That's the only thing that I'm not sure if it did qualify. It's close. I'll give it to you. So I'll say yes, it is a topping tail, or bottoming tail rather. I don't think there's anything anything stopping it from being considered a. Let me turn off my sound. Sorry about this, guys. There's nothing preventing it from not being a bottoming tail, but it could be negated if you see a close below this, basically tail. But yeah, I think you could see a bounce. But remember, you saw what was drawn on my chart, right? Flip, down move, sideways consolidation. All right. Peggy says, does Palantir's chart show that this is only a momentum high? Or could this be consolidation, a consolidation set price range going forward to the future? What is your target for the high and low support and then midterm according to the current chart? Thanks. So here's what I have. Potential head and shoulders forming on Palantir. If this does play out, it would have a measured move on Palantir like 50%, right? Yeah, like 34%. Right. The shoulder is here, but now it's getting a bit of a bounce. So not that this shoulder is negated, but we'll see. My level of resistance on Palantir, my next level of resistance where I would look for a pullback is about 4% higher, around 174 basically. And then support level, I'm looking probably at this trend line. So depending on what day it would hit, around 150, around $150. You can see how I found that trend line. Boom, 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 through this pivot. All right. But those are the levels I'm watching on Palantir right now. But you could, again, you could see a shoulder, head, shoulder type of thing potentially happening. Clint says, do you ever look at the SPX? It shows the percent of the S&P above the 200 MA. The percentage is down to 0.5944 from 0.68 on the August 22, 2025. However, it's been trending up since the April low. Yeah, I've never looked at that chart before. Not that it's not valid or useful. I just don't personally have experience using that. Mar says, hi, Lawton. What do you think if you see this? If you want, you can show my chart and turn to a teachable moment. I'm in pretty deep. Should I worry? So Mar sent us his chart. Okay, let's take a look at Solana. Should you be worried? Are you short at 189? Or you're long on 189? If you're long, you're in the money 18%. But if you're in at 189 for a long or a short, Mar? Short. Okay. Yeah, I would be concerned just because we know how wedges are. Breakout could lead to a move higher of this wedge, and Solana does have quite a ways it could go. Could go up. I mean, still could has like 33% more to run. Now, is Solana going to run up 33%? I don't think so, particularly, but who knows? Let's see. Maybe it gets rejected and comes back down, and it can break this and then make you some money. But that's what I'd be looking for, hoping this could either close back below and continue lower, maybe towards the lower end of this this wedge, or maybe get up so you can add and then flush. Justice, cheers, mate. Would you mind letting me know your thoughts on Mobileye? I'm currently swinging long with 1475 average. Okay, it's not that bad. Sorry about that. All right. Wondering for some ad levels. Yeah, absolutely. So you're not out of the money too much. Only 4%. I usually like to add 10-ish percent. So maybe around 1337. Could be a decent ad level for you. Nice pivot low there, 9% lower. If you wanted to wait a little longer, there's also a gap fill over here around 1321 that you might favor because that is 10.5%. Couple ad levels here. Another gap fill here. Liberation Day gap fill. Liberation Day low. And these are the levels that I'm currently looking at for a bounce on Mobileye. Donna says, what is your 6-month outlook for Lyft? Absolutely. Let's take a look at Lyft. So Lyft, what did it do? Look at this. Oh, this is so beautiful. Oh, this is so pretty. Beautiful downsloping parallel channel. That is bullish or bearish? Super bullish. And you have this downsloping trend line as well. See how far I can extend that out. Somewhere around here. All right, anyways, broke up, out, up, retraced, and absolutely exploded up. What do I say on these breaks? And this is why you guys tell you either enter on the break or you enter on the retrace. And it did retrace, pushing higher. For me, I'm looking for resistance here on 15% higher. 6-month outlook, I don't know. I'm not a genie. I'm not a fortune teller. I'm just a guy in front of a computer who's a little hot because I'm wearing a hoodie. But guys, this is a major trend line, downsloping trend line. If you could break above this trend line, I think we could go up like 50%. But that's only if, right? It still needs to go up, 18% and then continue higher first. So is it going to do that? I don't know. I don't know what to tell you in the next 6 months. It's hard for me to tell you exactly what it's going to do in the next 6 months. But this is just something you got to keep an eye on if you're trading it. Chad just found the verified investing topping bottoming tail explanations. Heard it after sending my Lulu question. Sorry for making you repeat yourself. No problem. Very handy. Great to know. Cheers. Yeah, no, that's what I'm here for, right? But yeah, our website, we give away so much free stuff. I would argue too much free stuff, but like whatever. Andre says, are you watching any other hyped companies like CWD? Nah, this is a rug pull. This is the biggest rug pull. Which one? QMMM is also a big rug pull. Look at this. Boom. Was up 2,000%. There's the rug pull. Fell 73%. Boom. So yeah, no, I see these type of rug pull stocks, but I don't trade them. Like I know they're gonna fall, but it's hard to pinpoint a certain way place. Let's see what else we got. Andreas says, hi, bro. What's up, Andreas? Hope you're well. My question is regarding identify RSI divergence. Do I draw trend lines on the chart and RSI at support or resistance? So if you're talking about RSI, I mean, you draw trend lines on the main chart. As far as RSI and explaining RSI divergence, Ben is actually coming out with a course on that, and he's going to fully explain that. So that's not something I'm able to give away, unfortunately. The basics of RSI is if it's above 60, above 70, it's overbought, and below 30, it's oversold. Chad says K-Web has broken above resistance levels, currently long, 5 to 6% up. Okay, cool. Wondering for some profit taking levels. Yeah. So let's go back historically on the chart of K-Web, see where you're likely to run into some additional resistance. Yeah, right here. So it looks like a good level to take some profits. Approximately 8-ish% higher, 8 to 9% higher, and $43.23. There's so much price action around here, so much price action around that level, even with these pivot lows and all of this. That's where I would look to take profits. Keaton says, hi, Lawton. Is there a website to research more about a company? For example, I'm trying to find why MKTX is dropping. They seem to compete with Bloomberg and a bonds platform. With TradingView, I know they have like something like this where you can read about the company and learn about the company, check out their financials, and then all of their news and things like that. But yeah, MKTX. I just use TradingView for that. Cool Buddy says, hey Lon, hope you're doing well. I'm all right. I found myself in an upward trend line for SoFi. Okay. 29th July. All right. Connected to recent resistance. All right. Am I doing technical analysis on SoFi correctly? Here's how I've drawn it. I took this level, previous all-time high, connected through this previous all-time highs to kind of connect this level of resistance on the upside, potentially. What you did isn't bad as well. You could definitely 100% do that as well. That should also provide a good level of resistance. I have it kind of trading this like wedge here, right? And the wedge is getting thinner and thinner and thinner. Upsloping wedge favors a move down. I'm always looking for patterns, and you'll get this over time. I've just drawn hundreds and hundreds of wedges, so like that. Nandia says, hello. I would like to ask you if you think the Oracle will go higher today or in the near term, or is it better to sell now? I'm a long-term investor, but this move was insane. Thank you very much. Well, if you're in Oracle, congratulations. Personally, I would sell. My max upside for this is around 348, 350. I think that Oracle wants to hit the $1 trillion company mark, but it would need to go up higher. But I mean, if you're a long-term investor, this is an amazing, amazing level. I mean, just so you guys understand how insane of a move this is, This move single-handedly pushed the CTO, the Chief Technology Officer of Oracle, turned him into the richest man in the world. Richer than Elon Musk. Crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Andrea says, I'm sure Oracle started buying at 321K. Added 4 more shorts up to 344.5. Yeah, it is a scary chart. I would agree. I mean, there is some sort of pullback starting to come, right? You see that stock is starting to come down. Now, here's what you want to see. If you're day trading it, you want to see it get below this VWAP, close below this VWAP, and start to head lower, right? But this blue line, this VWAP volume weighted average price, is going to be the level of resistance that we need to keep our eyes on. Chad says, thought I'd give you a mental break from the market questions for a second. This is an AMA after all. Awesome. So I have a question. Are you into films? I love films. I studied some film in college. I'm a big Marvel fan. Yep. Love Marvel. Though I've been disappointed with a lot of stuff Disney released since Endgame. Yeah, there was No Way Home as well. That was a pretty good one. However, I watched Fantastic Four and I enjoyed it. Hoping Disney are getting us back on track. Any chance you're into Marvel? Have you watched Fantastic? Yeah, I did like Marvel, Fantastic Four. I like that they kind of skipped the backstory, right? Like the Fantastic Four, like the most. Everyone knows the backstory for the most part, right? Like they're astronauts. They go into space. They get exposed to radiation. Turn into the Thing, Invisible Woman. I did like the film. I think it was pretty good. It was all right. I'd give it like a 7 out of 10. Right, it's pretty good. Hopefully, the new Spider-Man movie doesn't disappoint. But and No Way Home was really good. That was the only thing other than Endgame. But I went to I remember when Endgame did release, I was there. I booked tickets for my friends and I, and saw it in person on the day it released. And I'm telling you, that's one of the most amazing shared experiences that I've had with like people in my entire life. Just because it's like, yeah, just super cool. Super cool. Same thing with Spider-Man No Way Home. I tried my best not to get spoiled, and when Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield came out, like the entire movie theater went crazy. Like I find myself sometimes going back and rewatching audience reactions to iconic moments like when Endgame, when Captain America, picked up Mjolnir, um, all this sort of stuff. Andrea says, please consult more often with the crystal ball. I'm trying. But thanks for the question, Chad. Martin says, hey, Lon, what up? How would you interpret the outlook of gold? Yeah, it looks overbought. Looks overbought on that time frame. Looks crazy overbought in that time frame. But here's the thing: just because it's the RSI is above 70, just because it's overbought doesn't mean it has to come down, right? And it's more of a, if you want me to use RSI alone as an indicator, it's really complex. And again, Ben is going to come out on a course in it, so I don't want to spoil too much. But the RSI tells me that, yeah, it favors a move down. Favors a move down. Nah, it says, hey, buddy, can I have TA on STKA? STKA. SKTA. STK. STRK. I don't see STKA on here as a ticker. Nas, but I do have UPS. Hey, UPS, I'm bullish on UPS. I love this chart. I think it favors a move higher. I'm already long, but if you're not in it, I'd look to enter on $82. I love that level, $82 long on UPS. It's a nice dividend paying stock. Andrew says, "Thank you for your time. Really appreciate you going live today. Thanks so much for being here, Andre. I'm here, guys, every single day, and I'll be live for the next 10 minutes or so. So if you have any additional questions, feel free to look to throw them on. And I just want to say, please consider liking and subscribing while you're here. Back to the questions. Chad says, "How's the car you bought doing?" It's good. I was thinking while driving my car today that it's I really do like it. It's a lot of fun. Electric car, and it's a Porsche. Here's the thing. I was gonna get a BMW. I think I was gonna get an M3 or M4. But then I was like, oh, but that means I'm not gonna be driving a Porsche anymore, and I'm not gonna have an SUV. I'm gonna have a sedan. And I love like taking road trips. I love driving people around. Like I love being on the road. But M3 is so cool, and then it's like, I don't know. But at the end of the day, they gave me a great deal. And I'm really happy with the car. And the car is electric, all-wheel drive, sport edition, very fast. So it would probably beat an M3 in a drag race anyways because it's electric. And that's just not fair. Anyways. Sam says, "Hey there, SLB. Seems to have broken. Where do you see support and resistance midterm?" I don't have it breaking. I mean, it depends what you mean by breaking. Breaking what? There's like tons of different trend lines that you could draw on any given stock, right? You can draw this trend line and be like, oh, it broke above, came back below, broke above, retraced it, and find a way higher. For me on SLB, I'm really looking at this trend line, the taller one. Support and resistance, support down here, resistance up here at this pivot high. Support and resistance SLB. You want me to do the same thing for SMCI and Tesla? I'm going to do only SMCI just because I am running out of time to answer questions, but I'll come back to Tesla if I have time or if someone else asks about it. Hope you can understand, Sam. For Tesla, for SMCI rather, push up, hit this gap fill. This is the level that I would have shorted it today for a day trade. If it continues higher, my next level to look at it would be up here around $48.80, about 10% higher. Those are my levels of resistance. As far as support, I have this level at $42.80. That's for a day trade. As far as a swing trade is concerned, I'm not really interested in trading SMCI. There's so many other stocks to potentially trade. Those charts are a lot better, like at UPS or something like that. I'm not touching SMCI. No, it says STLA. Oh, gotcha. STLA tried to break above, came back down. Stellantis. I'm a buyer here around $18, or excuse me, $8.38. I will be a buyer. I'm actually putting a reminder right now that if it comes down here, I will buy STLA. Buy some more STLA. But it's a good company, decent company, dividend-paying stock, $33 billion company. So I do expect it to have more upside eventually. Chad says, "Cool to hear." Yeah, I totally agree. I love No Way Home. Spuddy's actually favorite character of all time. Cool. My dad used to buy his comic books back when he was a teenager in the 70s, got me into it from day one. So you can imagine how much we both enjoy the Marvel mainstream boom. Long may it continue. Absolutely. But unfortunately, I think this is Tom Holland's last one. I don't know how many more he signed up for. I also like Into the Spider-Verse with Miles Morales. It's a little different, right? It's not as true to the original comics. It's not the traditional Spider-Man, but I think seeing all the different Spider-Man from all the different comic adaptations, because they really do get wacky over there, is cool. You know, like the British Spider-Man, all the different Spider-Mans. That's cool. Let's go back. I got you, Sam, with the Tesla. We have 4 more minutes, guys. If you have any more questions, feel free to throw them in. On Tesla, broke up from this downsloping trend line. Is also kind of making this, has a nice upsloping trend line that it's created too. There's too much garbage on my charts. I know that. I am sorry. For me, this is the trend line I'm watching. If this breaks, I anticipate a move down around 10 to 13, 14% on Tesla. But you can see it's kind of trading in this very, very tight, like getting tighter wedge, right? That does end up here. So if we see continued movement like this, I anticipate a move lower, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. Tesla's been kind of trading interesting. There was a wedge here, kind of broke out of, came back into, then broke out of again, and is now up. But this is where I'm watching it. Now it says last one, buddy, FLO. Flowers Foods. Let's take a look at this. $3 billion company. Full disclosure, I've never traded this before. It's currently down a decent bit, about 52% from its all-time highs, it looks like. So this thing has been like kind of like a penny stock before. Just looking at the price action. For me, ooh, look at that. It's into a very good level, in my opinion, for a potential buying opportunity down at 1436. Let's see what else we got. 2011, we have some nice price action here. We have a pivot low here from 2012, around $12.30. Another one down here from 06 at 762.61. So let's see if it hit it today. It did hit that level today and bounced up. That's where I would have bought it. I do like this, actually. John says, hey, Lon, can you give me quick on KDP? Absolutely. I got you, brother. KDP, sorry about that. KDP looks decent. I mean, it's continued to come down, but I'm actually bullish on KDP. I just picked up a position long on KDP. There's a couple more pivots for support that it could run into. 2670, namely, is one of them. Let's go a little deeper, see if we have any other levels. I mean, KDP is down on what news? It's down on news that Keurig and Dr. Pepper are going to split into separate companies. Why Keurig, the coffee maker, and Dr. Pepper are the same company anyways is beyond me. I have a bad echo. I apologize. All right. But anyways, John, you could check out these levels, screenshot them. These are the levels I'm anticipating a bounce on KDP: 2670, 2459, 2380, and 1903. All right. It's about 4:14, so I'm going to close up the show now. Guys, if you enjoyed this content, please consider liking and subscribing, leaving me a comment. I really, really appreciate all of you being here and spending, time out of your day to listen to what I have to say. It truly means the world to me. If you enjoy this content, please consider subscribing to us on YouTube and on Twitter. Guys, my name again is Lawton Ho here with Verified Investing. If you have questions you want to ask me that I didn't answer, you can always send them to me on Twitter at Lawton Investing. Just my name followed by the word investing. Brewski says, thanks and have an awesome trading day. You too, Brewski. I hope you have an amazing trading day. Best of luck to all of you guys. Have a great rest of your day. Take it easy, guys. And I'll see you all tomorrow. Same time, same place. Bye, guys.